you want me, if you need me, I'm yours.
So people back again. Oh man, I don't know why, but today is like a grey day. It's just like the most. I don't know. This is more about like mentally, I guess. Mentally, it's just like, oh man, I woke up this morning. Just something in the atmosphere, you know, like in regards to like price action. I mean, it's an external force that's like messing with me right now. I don't know. I did make good progress on what I'm doing. The thing is, just like I feel like I'm being productive, but at the same time, it's not bringing anything to me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've got the channel built. I'm like streaming on a daily basis. I'm building out this app that I think is going to be really cool. I'm not trading per se. Like, you know, I'm buying like some NFTs, like really cheap NFTs. I might buy some more today on stream. Yeah, I've got the DX Terminal Pro thing going, mucking around with Claude. Like, I'm doing interesting things that interest me, stimulate my mind. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's just something going on. I don't know if it's in the world or, I don't know. Like, anything that is bothering me, to be honest, is beyond my control. That's what I would say. Obviously there are situations that can be fixed by me taking some simple steps, maybe humbling myself and just, you know, getting back on the grind. The real grind. But, man, I mean, maybe it's necessary. So yesterday, as I was saying, you know, I was speaking my thoughts into existence and I came up with a few ideas and sort of motivated myself to get cracking with the old Claw code again, to try and finish out my Whales app or whatever, my Whalescope app. So I've made progress. Now, I don't know if anyone watched yesterday, but yesterday the middle part, the live feed, was not actually pinging. I didn't have information on positions. I didn't have anything going on. So yeah, now it's all connected to Hyperliquid and it's actually feeding data into it. The next step would be for me to actually be able to trade via this this terminal. So as you can see, I've like got volume spike. So if I see like, you know, I programmed it where if there's like an abnormal volume on a trade, like a larger than average trade, then it would actually let me know. It pings with a sound. I'm not gonna like sort that out, all the sound and stuff. It should actually work actually. Let me see. Background. Second audio app. You should actually get sound. I should check that. Let me see. I click on it. Can I hear it? Eventually something will come through. At some point. Is it got audio? There you go. Can you actually hear it on the stream? I don't know if you can. Let me see. I'm just checking to see if you can hear it. No, you can't hear it. But like, yeah, basically it pings like a different sound for the spikes, and then you've got these different trades that are coming through from the top 10 addresses from that day. I did program it to where it like has to be active. Yeah, so like, you know, I could click long now, follow that trade, and then when I click on it, I'm going to click on it now. It probably won't work. Let's see. So if I click long now, yeah, you'll see here it says order failed, failed to desired JSON body, blah, blah, blah. But what this interface basically shows you is that that person is long. You're now tracking that person's trade. So when they close it out, you have the option to close the trade out as well. it's sort of programmed to match leverage and everything like that, depending on how much you have at stake. And yeah, you can see in the right hand corner here, which like, you know, updates positions. So currently I am long Astar, just like a small amount because I'm experimenting with it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing is just mucking around with it. Yeah, and then I've got like a live bar up here where it shows what people are doing, whether they're long or short. So 100% of people in the past 15 minutes have gone short. It doesn't stipulate specifically which assets they're short on. So like, you know, it's not as granular as I'd like it to be, but at the same time, too much information overflow, it makes it more difficult to make decisions. Yeah, and it's just been humming along. But yeah, the integration of like me being able to trade via this terminal through Hyperliquid, something's wrong with the code. So basically, what I have to do now is with each file, I have to go through each one and just constantly refine it until the point where there's no bugs and it's going to work. So it's going to take a few more days, maybe a week, to get it up and running. But this is my own personal terminal that I'll be experimenting with, you know, mucking around with just to see what it does. And it's just a little hobby, little side thing that's keeping me entertained. It potentially could make me a bit of a small change. I don't know. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But yeah, that's something, my little side project that I thought like, yeah, if I'm going to build something, I might as well build something that I've always wanted. Update on Terminal Pro. Another coin got reaped. It was Slop. Let me mute this because it's pinging still. Okay. Oh, see, and then you got like, yeah, the volume spikes. Yeah, see. So someone's opened a massive short, 93k, on 5x leverage. So yeah, people are shorting the market right now. We can even look at the market actually. Let's do that first. Yeah, so you know, obviously all the oil stuff and, you know, the stuff going on in Iran is going to affect markets, and it's just a horrendous time to try and trade anything in these low liquidity markets. Not that I trade, you know, this is all like demo accounts, I'd say that. Yeah, basically, yeah, nothing's moving. There's not much liquidity going on. These are the times where you should just like be on a buy in the whole situation. I'm convinced, right? And call me paranoid. Maybe I spend too much time alone. I'm convinced that someone's hacking my computer is actually in my terminal right now. Because when I do this, it's sort of like, watch. Look at that. Like, what is that? You know? Or it might be just because I've got this code running in the background. I can bring it up. I'll show you. I can bring it up eventually. Maybe it's just this, you know, the fact that all these things are happening in the background of my computer, in my terminal, in my command prompt. It's just slowing down my servers, or like my my bitrate, or, you know, my computer processing power. I don't know. I'm not very technical in these things. But maybe just the fact that this information is being uploaded to my computer is just slowing everything down. But the only thing that it's affecting is it seems is TradingView. Every other like aspect, you know, every other tab, it sort of works out. It's fine. But it's just TradingView. It's just pretty strange. Maybe because TradingView requires you know, up-to-date information as well. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, so back to DXRG, the Pro Terminal, the DX Pro Terminal Pro. If you don't know what this is by now, this is like my third stream probably on Twitch, and obviously on X, everyone knows, you know, I'm kind of shilling this project. It's a bunch of like AI bots trading in the terminal, and yeah, there's just like at the end, there's going to be one meme coin that will like basically be going out into the real world where people could actually trade it. And since the beginning, since inception, Poopcoin's been at the top. So I just basically trade my bot to accumulate as much Poopcoin as possible, buy on dips. What else? Yeah, buy on dips. And anytime a token gets reaped, whoever is holding the token that's at the bottom, which at the moment is Slop, which will be reaped, next reap will be in 2 days. Okay, so if Slop stays below this red marker, basically it's going to be reaped next. And it will keep on happening until, I think there's 8 days left, until there's only one coin left. But the market cap, or the people who are holding this coin, yeah, will get an allocation of the top coin, which will be Poopcoin. So I guess the agents are sort of coming to terms with the fact that there's only ever going to be one winner, and it's 35x above the second place, and that is Poopcoin. So yeah, I think I made the right choice with just like my buy and hold strategy, accumulate as much as I can. So hopefully when, you know, the market, when it goes to the live markets, i.e. people are able to purchase it, and not just agents trade it, it might even go higher than this. Who knows? But we'll find out in 8 days, and I'll continue to update that on a daily basis to see where it's at. But yeah, really interesting experiment. It's coming to an end. The developer sort of hinted at something as well. Let me see if I can go to my replies. something happened. Something that's not so funny and quite scary happened to me yesterday, or even this morning. That I'll get into. Here it is. Yeah, here we go. So how many Brits are in crypto? I don't see too many of us about. I said, nice try, HMRC. And this morning I got this message. Crypto transactions are taxable. Make sure you report your income. Blah, 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 blah. So like, yeah, sadly, you know, you want me to report my income, but I've made zero on crypto in the past 2 years because the market's been shit and, you know, rugs and everything else. So, I mean, come after me. If you want your $50, it's fine. There's a bit of fear in my heart because I never wanted to come to this stage where I feel like I'm cheating my taxes. It's never been a thing where like, yeah, I'm avoiding tax or anything like that. I've just never made any money in crypto, like substantial money anyway. Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say on that at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Like, you know, you might see that this account goes down and all of a sudden I'm in handcuffs, and yeah, maybe I have messed up somewhere along the lines, but you know, if anything, it's an honest mistake on my part, and yeah, I'll do my best to like fix it. So yeah, I also said like, you know, Claude Code makes mistakes. How do I fix this? I keep asking, can you look at the complete server.js, which is the file that you saw running, and make sure there are no more errors, make no mistakes, do a deep dive. I've done that repeatedly, like, you know, over 2 sessions now, and I've run out of credit. And yes, things are still not working. So I've got a feeling it's going to take a little while before I can actually trade through the terminal if I have the, you know, the demo account. Yeah, I'll say that. And where is it? I want to get to. Here it is. Yeah. Claude Code started the coding agent revolution because humans and agents shared a verifiable loop. Markets don't have this. The right move changes the moment you use it. Nobody has found the right environment for it yet, but we're building it. So like, yeah, this is the guy who's developed this DX Terminal Pro. So I'm like asking for more information. I'm like, what's going on? So like, I've got a feeling they're gonna actually go live with it. You know, like it's gonna be opened up to more tokens where agents can trade, because technically, right, a lot of people, like for instance, I'm building this terminal thing. Technically, I could apply that to an agent and then set rules and just let the agent have at it. Then it's got nothing to do with me, innit? You know, and that's basically what Terminal Pro is. It's a very simple user interface where anybody can program the rules to trade in a certain way, and then you just give the agent a bit of capital and just let it have at whatever environment it's involved in. So yeah, there's definitely like, I feel like, you know, when you see something evolve or something new has come out, people treat it like it's always been there, but this is something that's brand new that no one's done yet. So yeah, if you've got an agent sandbox with like NFTs for access, and a governance token to keep the rules in place, then potentially you've got like a new meta. And I feel like DX Research Group, who've been around for like a few years now, and have been constantly iterating on what they've been doing, are on the right path to actually develop a new meta that people would find really interesting. You know, imagine the average retail guy buying an NFT, staking it, and then being like, okay, I just want you to trade this way. Here's the capital, and then he goes about his business. He comes back, he's lost his money, or whatever happens has happened, and yeah, from there, you know, they get curious and then they develop better strategies, and it creates fairer markets. So like, even the fact that this Terminal Pro is in a sandbox makes it a fairer market. In that, if you look at traditional markets, they're so manipulated with insider information, people gaining information before somebody else. But if you've got a sandbox of tokens where every agent is on an even playing field, and the only thing that's going to allow you to win is like based on how you tell it to trade those particular assets, you have more of a chance than being out in the real world, where, you know, the guy who works in Washington DC knows that the oil prices are going to spike down because you know, the president's going to make an announcement. Not saying that's true. I'm not nowhere anywhere near that, but like, that's the type of insider information that is valuable, and that can be traded upon by someone's nephew somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So those things can happen, potentially. As far as I'm not, you know, I believe. I don't know. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Yeah. What else? Starting and looking at you. So then I said, same thing. Oh, he actually replied, it could be some kind of experiment using this pool, but 8 million in TLV is a lot. Way more than is needed to run an AI agent experiment. Okay, so he actually replied. How much are these agents generating fees to tell experiment? Well, I mean, someone needs to check out what the fees are in it. But yeah, he's basically still on the same path. So like two videos ago, I was talking about this guy who was not complaining, but he was trying to say like, how does Uniswap started looking at Uniswap fee switch on base and encountered an anomaly. It looks like the Uniswap protocol fees may be 45k a day on base, which is quite impressive. Roughly half of that bringing in on mainnet right now, but found something odd in the distribution. So V2 fees are relatively small, which is most expected, but V3 fees have been pretty decent. I looked into which V3 pools may be contributing and found most of it is a single-sided pool, roughly blah blah. It's the most liquid pool on base by a wide margin. It actually has half of total Uniswap TVL, and he goes on and on and on. Maybe the strangest thing is that this only really started at the end of January this year. This week on Jan was when the volume through this pool spiked and has started and stayed elevated since. And yeah, he sort of replied, but I don't know what I'm going to say back to him now. People never reply to me. Damn, how are these accounts here left with not using ChatGPT to write the post? Oh, that's not my likes. Why did it do that? Right, we're going back here. Go back to my likes or replies. Likes. What have I liked then? Vi coding pro tip. Inside your Claude.md, agents MD, add this. Never created a component longer than 150 lines. If it exceeds this, split it into smaller components automatically. Always separate UI from logic. Most front ends become unmaintainable because every screen is 100 plus lines of code. This single rule forces clean architecture without you thinking about it. I might have to do that. It might be that like, you know, the rule set is embedded into the UI, which is what's causing the problems with me not being able to, you know, trade via the terminal. So yeah, it could be something like that. I think I spoke about that yesterday. Yeah, I spoke about that yesterday. So yeah, not really much. Like, I haven't been like on X too tough. I've just kind of been like mucking around Claude, kind of becoming obsessed with it, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, literally today I wanted to use up my credits, like, you know, going over the code and making sure that everything was right on that first file before I got on stream. So I was waiting for that to run out, and now, like, you know, if I stream here for 2 hours, God knows how I'm going to do that. If I do that, then I would actually be able to go back to Claude and then get to work. And then by the time, you know, the evening comes, I rest up, have dinner, watch Married at First Sight Australia. I know, don't judge me. With the wife. And then, you know, get back to work in the evening and then run up I'm just going to keep running out the credits. I know people are saying, like, you know, pay £200 a month. But people seem to be running through that too. So, like, you know, $20 is enough for me to do what I'm doing. It's just going to take a little longer. And I don't think I don't know if people actually have like their own private trading terminals at home that are set up and integrated into Hyperliquid. But, you know, more than likely the most successful traders have that. And more than likely, you know, the more advanced traders probably have their open clause or whatever it is, you know, their AI agents doing the trading for them and learning on the fly. So you could possibly have, like, you know, a box or an agent sitting there doing trades itself and learning like how these markets work. So there's definitely room for like major improvements on what I've built. But like, this is just basically the user interface and the usage of it. The next step would actually be to like automate it and then just let it run on its own. Set the rules, as I said, like in regards to DX Terminal Pro, and maybe have it on a grander scale in regards to, yeah, Hyperliquid, where you could trade pretty much any asset at the moment. So yeah, there's definitely like things that you could think ahead of. It's just like, yeah, it's just funding basically. It's just funding. I'm dying for an airdrop. Like someone needs to, like, you know, like and subscribe and, like, you know, send me some bits or whatever the fuck these people do. Like someone needs to drop some stuff for me so I can get on with my life, like, you know, or I could go get a job. Or I could go get a job, which is the other thing I could do. Who knows? But, you know, at the earliest opportunity, at some point, I will buy, like, you know, a mini Mac, and like that would probably be the next step in the evolution of Whalescope, is to like actually have you know, an agent like integrate into the UI and then set the rules and then just have it go, you know. Speed of thought, like speed of transaction, decision making, all emotions are negated if you have an agent just like with a set pair of rules just doing the things for you. It's basically like having a trading bot, which a lot of people do have, you know, or did have previously, and they won. You know what I mean? They won because like the emotions have taken out of it. And basically you could just get on with your life from there. You could just like, okay, I will go and, you know, work a 9 to 5 or an 8-hour session somewhere and pittance, and pay, and, you know, just like play by the rules basically, which is what I think probably is the best course of action for me in the near term, because looking at the markets and the way the world is at the moment, it's kind of like it's all against you. You know, like if you decided to, like, you know, say you made a substantial amount over the past 2 years, what you consider a substantial amount, at some point that money's going to run out if you don't have the ability to earn concurrently throughout the month and cover external costs. And then, you know, there's the other things that come with that, like, you know, if you have a child, like, you've got to cover the school trips, the clothes, everything else. You know, they might need money to go out with their friends. You can't say no to your children. So at some point, yeah, you do need to step up and just be like, okay, like, you know, I don't want to burn through all my capital, but I do need to find a way to use this capital to make more capital, and to be able to automate a trading bot that actually wins would be like the dream scenario for a person like me. And I'm taking steps to try and get it that way. There are other opportunities as well, like even like, especially when it comes to this like Claude Code thing, like with my missus, in regards to my missus, she messaged me and she showed me like the user interface for where she works, and the fact that this company that charges them has like a £5,000 setup fee to set up a website. I was like, £5,000 to set up a website, and then they charge them like 1,300 a month to maintain it, which basically means nothing. And the worst thing is like they sell two separate softwares that aren't integrated together but have to work together. So you're paying like double. And the guy, like, you can see the picture of the guy on it, and it's just like he's got the smuggiest face, and it's like, because he knows, I can't believe people pay for this shit. It's like, how the hell are people getting away with making money like this? It's just like, it's about knowing what no one else knows, isn't it? So like, I said to her, you know, I could actually probably more than likely, you know, given my, you know, ability to vibe code, I could probably unite those two and sell that as a package to this company she works for, and make a nice bundle. So like, there are opportunities to start up a business purely vibe coding, and that's it's not like, it's like cannibalizing the sleeping giants, isn't it? There are companies out there, or like, you know, even small companies who've found their niche and they're sitting in it, and they've been sitting in it for 10 years and they've been making out like bandits, and they're not going to change anything. They're not aware of, like, you know, the changes, and they're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, we've got an AI chatbot, and reality is just like, you know, those bots you get on your phone where they're just like, they ask you generic questions, and, you know, they don't have the experience of actually working within a business or a company to see what the niche cases are as well, or like what they could do to improve their product to help people who work in the industry. So you've got insider information in that respect. So there's loads of opportunities out there to build stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm thinking about. I don't want to call it like I don't want to call it like, you know, those people who go into businesses and they're like, yeah, you need to cut hair here and there. Like, I can't remember what it's called. I've lost it. But yeah, there's definitely a word for or a business type like that that will come back to me when I'm speaking mid sentence at some point. So yeah, there's loads of things going on. And, you know, as I said yesterday, in regards to like these streams, it's kind of just like my thoughts, and you know, at some point, what is this? MetaMask prediction markets live with Polymarket. I don't know why MetaMask keep pushing these narratives on top of their products. It's really annoying. Just do the airdrop. You know, I think we're like 583 people. They done their campaign. They done their campaign over the course of towards the end of the year, trying to encourage people to use their mobile app, and they done their airdrop of their Liner tokens. And where is it? Is there replies? It's somewhere here. I'll get there in a second, guys. I apologize. Yeah, here it is. And it's like, yeah, the Liner claim window for MetaMask rewards has come to a close. The remaining 380 million tokens that were not claimed will be burned. Thanks for participating. So basically, like, no one claimed the token. That's how I say it. So I said, you know, how much was actually claimed in percentage terms of the total airdrop? And I said, you won't answer. We know that we don't exist to you. it goes both ways. Just thought I would inform you of that fact, which is true. It's kind of like a lot of these, like, you know, like the Ethereum Foundation, Consensus, Base to, well, Base seems to be like, you know, community, because they I think they understand. If they want to be successful, they need to build like a community of diehard fans, and encourage them to come on chain and build and blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's just like they're not trying to build communities. They're just trying to, like, for that period of time, for instance, show that they have a lot of users. So like they'll do a campaign and they'll be like, yeah, we'll give you all these rewards. They don't tell you what the rewards are. And then so people are like, okay, I'll download the app and I'll trade in, you know, maybe this is the MetaMask airdrop, because prior to that, they actually did say, we're gonna give you the airdrop. It's sooner than you think. You know, it's the famous Joe Lubin quote, because he said that at the top of every market, he's like, yeah, the MetaMask token's coming sooner than you think. So he's dropped that, and then they're like, we're gonna do a campaign, and then they do the campaign, and then when it comes time, the campaign ends. There's no MetaMask token. There's Liner tokens, and there's some like NFT that looks shit, and discounts at restaurants or like whatever else they offered for the debit card users. So. But the reason why they do that is so they can basically raise at a higher valuation. So they go to investors and say, look, we've got 100,000 users now, guys. It's increasing exponentially over that set period of time. And then they do a raise, they get their money, and you know that keeps the truck going for a little bit longer. But the only way for MetaMask to actually come out of the doldrums and for people to actually put some respect on its name is to do a decent airdrop to original users, to the OG users who took the risks, who trusted MetaMask with their funds when it was janky as fuck, and well, it was always secure. I'll give them that. Like, you know, I never had an issue with security with MetaMask. It was always the most reliable. I actually have like a deep affinity to MetaMask, the product, but this new line that it's going in is just not what you think it is, isn't it? It's not going to benefit. It doesn't feel like it's going to benefit the user to actually interact with it, you know. And like adding prediction markets and leverage trading via Hyperliquid through their user interface is not going to benefit the user, is it? I mean, what is that? That's gambling. So they basically just put gambling into it. When they first came out, it was all about being secure and decentralization and all the rest of it. It's just completely changed because everyone's after the money. Everyone's after the users and they're after the money. All these products. The base app has sort of died off as well, which is quite interesting. There was a point where, like, you know, they were really pushing the base app. People downloaded it, they fucked around with it, but maybe they just didn't get the numbers they thought they would, and now it's sort of like died down. You don't really hear much about the base app, but now they're doing their own chain, which I don't know when that's going to come out. It'll probably be towards the end of the year. Now that they're doing their own chain, things could get interesting, innit? Because, like, I don't know if they're not are they competing with like, you know, the Mega ETHs of this world, who even Mega ETH in that respect, like, you know, is classed as an L2, I'm assuming. You don't see much of it on the timeline. It's got very quiet. I got a feeling that there's a lot of people in the know that are just grafted on Mega ETH. They're just grinding on Mega ETH, just like, you know, doing all the campaigns, doing, you know, using it, playing Shadow Run or whatever it's called, you know, the card game, just mucking around, you know, providing yield. And at some point, those people are expecting some sort of airdrop, or they are actually the people who participated in the ICO. I mean, if Base tried to do an ICO, it would be the biggest, like, joke. Like, people don't want ICOs, man. I know, like, the thing is, it's like, ICOs were good for small businesses. Like, I see it as like, ICOs were good for small businesses with great ideas, isn't it? But if you've got like Coinbase saying we're going to do an ICO to raise capital, it makes zero sense, because you've got capital. You've got a lot of capital, especially because you weren't paying like funds for securing the network to the EVM. Like, let's not get it twisted, isn't it? Like, you know, they did. I don't know if they do. Well, maybe they do. But, like, you know, I haven't got the data on it. I can't say that. But my point is that they did decentralize to the point where Ethereum benefited. You know, they took what they needed, they took the parts that they liked, and they're like, right, we're going to build our own thing now. You know, so when Base Chain does come out, it's going to be, it might be, like, I don't even think they need to be EVM compatible to be secure, to be honest. Like, if the token is anything like built like anything like ETH, where it's going to be decentralized, you can stake it, run your own nodes, and you can earn fees and participate in the network, then it is its own network, isn't it? But if it's going to be reliant upon the EVM, then the token's going to be worthless. It will just be like a governance token. It's like like, you know, like Starknet, for instance. That was a hybrid, wasn't it? It was kind of like, yeah, we've got the Starknet token. It pays for gas on the network. You can stake it and secure the network, but we're still going to rely on Ethereum for the security. It makes no sense. Like the narrative, it doesn't vibe. It doesn't vibe. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on is the base network. Another one, which I think is like got an outside chance to outperform in the near term, or even there. I mean, when I say the near term, I don't have any dates in it, but like, you know, the way I look at it is like it's bottomed, you know, is Asta. See, I say it with like a hush, like Asta. Like Asta is going to come out with its own chain. It's going to be like the Chinese. I'm going to say the line. It's going to be like the Chinese Ethereum, isn't it? But like, or the Chinese Mega ETH. It's going to be like super fast. It's going to have all the latest tech. It's going to have privacy at its forefront. See, my mouse is doing that thing again. Maybe I should refresh. Let me refresh this. Reload the thing, bro. Come on. Yeah. But they sort of like quietly made the announcement that mainnet is coming, and that was on March the 4th. So I think like towards the end of this month, you're gonna see some explosive price action here. That's stuck there, so we don't want to do that. Let's go back to that. Yeah, you're gonna see some explosive price action here. No one wants to sell, no one wants to buy. It's just sort of like sitting in this like, you know, this is the daily chart as well. All right, mouse. This is the daily chart, and it's just like sideways consolidation. It's like, how likely is it going to go back to the, like, you know, that back to the lows of 40 cents? Is it just going to stay in this range? Could it go down to like 65 cents? Possibly. But yeah, Asta's made some announcements that their mainnet is coming live soon. They said you've been warned. They've changed their tokenomics. We've lowered perp taker fees for qualified market makers now as low as I don't know what that means, but okay. So you can see I've like sort of scrolled through it. So I took a log on my demo account, cough cough. And yeah, I believe that, yeah, the next gen perp decks for all traders. So yeah, Asta is at the moment, you've been warned, the shadow moves. And that was on the 4th of March, but you know, 2,100 likes. It's very quiet on here. Good, can be a reversal here. Is Asta about to go parabolic? You know, and then the questions happens indeed. You rang. But the tokenomics on it, I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's find out about the tokenomics, because it was like they had like 1 trillion tokens or something stupid, and then they started saying, "Oh, we're gonna do a buyback and burn. We're gonna do all these sort of things." Give me a breakdown of the tokenomics of Asta. So we'll do this together. The thing is, it's like no one's trading these markets. You know, like I saw Fred Guy was on earlier. Shout out to Fred Guy. You know, he does great content. He puts in the effort. Not that you know, like no one's hearing me, but whatever. And he was talking about, you know, oil. He was talking about geopolitical macro things, you know, like the stock prices and all the rest of it. It's like, okay, like, but you're at such a disadvantage trading those markets. It's like, why would you even bother? And I think he learned that because, like, you know, when I was talking about trading in smaller, like in a sandbox, a certain set of tokens, that was basically in reference to what he was talking about, because he was talking about the macro oil and yeah, stocks and, you know, the S&P and all this other stuff. He already like said that he saw crime on the chart of oil, because that announcement front ran the price going down, or the price running down front ran the announcement. So he kind of like saw the price dip. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And then the announcement came out. So whoever knew about that announcement prior to it happening clearly was involved in those markets. So, you know, it's like, but with something like Asta or like these tokens that have the potential to grow a big user base, the information is there. And there's only a few of us left, you know, like 2.1k people are like this. It's got 322,000 views, and there are like billions of people in the world. So like, you know, if it does like actually work out, the potential for a price run up is massive. So you've kind of like slightly got more information than like, you know, the rest of the people out in the markets or who are out of the crypto markets at this given time. So you're able to take advantage of it. You're able to get in on the ground floor on potentially an explosive move once it goes live. Give me the breakdown on Asta's tokenomics. Yeah, because I'm kind of curious, like, you know, I spelled tokenomics wrong, didn't I? I always do that. Tokenomics. It knows what I mean. It's AI, you know, it understands. Asta tokenomics. Okay, total supply 8 billion. Oh my god. fixed cap, originally on BNB chain as BIP20, blah, blah. Deflationary mechanics. The protocol uses a significant portion of trading fees, often reported as 60 to 97% in various cycles, for buybacks of ASTA from the open market. Half or a large portion of bought back tokens are burned, sent to dead address, and the rest may go to locked airdrops or incentives. This creates ongoing supply reduction tied to platform revenue. Yeah, cumulative burns, over 176 million tokens burned to date as early March 2026, with the recent burns of 456k in one cycle and prior large events, e.g. 77 million. This has reduced effective supply. Utility governance, trading fee discounts, staking fee yields, premium features, potential gas utility on ASTA L1. There you go. Revenue sharing alignment. So yeah, so like, you know, potentially like the ASTA token could be used for gas, like ETH. And you can also be used for staking to secure the network, potentially. So if that is the case, then yeah, the value accrual in it is, you know, it could be beneficial. Plus the burn as well. The fact that it's got like, how much is it? 8 billion. What is that? Jesus. Yeah, that's 8 billion tokens. And I think they're all out as well. I don't think there's any emissions, which is why they're doing the burn. Yeah, here we go. So liquidity, listing, blah, blah, blah. Treasury, 30%, 2.4 billion tokens. Treasury has 560 million. Yeah, circulating supply. Circulating supply is around 2.5 billion. Many unlocks, especially ecosystem community portions, have been gradually monthly, but largely remained locked unused in treasury style addresses to minimize immediate dilution. Team investor unlocks are backloaded. Major cliffs potentially in late 2026, keeping early dilution low. High concentration in treasury smart contract wallets has been noted by some analysts, but the team has emphasized transparency via on-chain movements. Yeah, so yeah, the potential for, like, you know, emissions, we're gonna call them emissions, is quite high. But there's gonna be, I feel like there's gonna be a scam pump in this. I feel like it's gonna go to like stupid valuations, and then that's when, you know, towards the end of the year, that's when potentially like it's gonna dump. But at the moment, it's kind of like the only way you're gonna get it is via an airdrop. So like if you're trading on ASTA, every quarter or every month they give you a few tokens or whatever. I've quoted before, like, you know, and I've stated before, I don't know if some previous streams or recordings, but like ASTA as an exchange, like a decentralized exchange, is just the worst. But in saying that, you know, that was like maybe 6 months ago. Like, I don't know what it looks like now, but at the time it was just like, no, you know, just no, I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, there are a few people that are interested in this thing. When this range breaks up, I will log hard until then. Keep build. What range is that? Yeah, it's just like consolidating, and it's still there. When was that? That was a few days ago. That was on the March the 4th. You know what I mean? So it's been consolidating in that same range since then, all the way from February. Just sort of like going sideways. It could be like this, you know, where it goes up and it just like lets you down. But I feel like it's got the potential to just like massively outperform the rest of the market that is concerned with what Bitcoin's doing. Obviously, Bitcoin is king. You know, we'll say that. But it's in the hands of, like, you know, the grubby capitalists now. And they can manipulate price whichever way they want, or just keep price sideways forever. It could be like, you know, a gold situation where it just stays at 70k for the next 5 years while everyone's waiting for the breakout. You know, potentially every retail participant's worst nightmare. You know, like, there's a lot of like outspoken people, and they talk about the Clarity Act and like how it's good for you know, the overall health of this ecosystem. That Clarity Act can be dragged on for years, and while it's being dragged on, price could just stagnate until something happens. You know, Trump was saying that they had until the end of March, or until March, to get the Clarity Act pushed through. But obviously he's got his hands full with this mess that's going on, like, you know, globally. Like, who cares about our shitty little tokens, you know, and this shitty little part of the economy, when, you know, people are getting blown up all over the world and like all these things are happening. Nobody cares, man. So like, you know, you do have to have some sort of perspective in regards to your expectations of like where prices will go. No one in certain parts of the world is sitting there thinking, oh god, I hope, you know, Bitcoin breaks out, or like, you know, the Clarity Act passes and all these things. I guess that's the problem with like perpetually being on X. It's just like you get very American centric, you know, everything is American. So maybe I'm just following the wrong people. But yeah, clearly, like in a global like macro, you know, Overwatch sort of way, like where you're watching what everything that's going on. Yeah, the crypto markets are like the least of anyone's problems. No one's thinking about this right now. But that's when you make the most money. You know, if you could hold on and like you could pick the right coins out, the right opportunities, and you get it on the lows, and you could just like survive without having to sell for any reason, you're gonna do well. So yeah, definitely something that everyone needs to think about if you're gonna get involved in these markets. I'm not a scammer, so like, you know, I'm not trying to shield any coins or anything like that. I'm just saying like maybe it's time to think outside of what you are originally your original expectations. Yeah, yeah, I would say that. I would say that definitely. Me rambling again. I know. Yeah, but yeah, Asta's definitely something I'm looking at. My NFTs are down only at the moment. I mean, you can pick up some grails for like pretty cheap right now. Like that one's quite cool. The flaming slug, the four-headed dragon. How much is that going for? $60. I mean, no. They released a game. You know, okay. I mean, it's like Pac-Man. And it's just like, okay. It's a bit cringe. But like, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so they're trying to do things. They're trying to do things. And, you know, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. They're relatively cheap. They're like $10 a piece. You know, I own 3. All because I like, you know, I'm curious and I just want to see where it goes. But yeah, it's definitely a waiting game in regards to like, you know, if you're here to make money, then you're going to be waiting around for a while. I think it's not a thing of like prices are just going to all of a sudden like flip around and everything's going to be great. It's going to take a good 18 months. It's going down to 17 months now. And there's no catalyst to actually pump the markets either. 4 days until all hell breaks loose on this damn app. I don't know what that means. Okay, developers just shipped Cloud skill that uses Cloudflare's new crawl endpoint to scrape entire doc sites in one command. In the demo, it pulled 29 pages from the Claude docs in a single shot. So that's cool. So then, like, you know, that can be added to the Claude MD, like, you know, increasing its brain power, which is something that, you know, we should all be trying to do. It's just like making your brain as smart as possible. And remember, you know, for me anyway, I'm trying to train this particular brain for one specific task. And I'm going to keep iterating on that brain to the point where, you know, if for anyhow, like any miracle happens where, you know, I have a substantial amount of capital at some point, I will be building like, you know, the Minimac OpenClaw deal, and that brain will be imported in there. And then that will be my, you know, my bot that's going to do things on chain potentially, you know? So it's just about, if you don't have, even if like, not to say that, you know, even if you don't have the capital, you can still pay the £20 a month and you can still build the brain. It's going to take you a little longer, but at the same time, this thing is new. Like you're not behind. And if anything, people keep dropping new tools. Every day there's a new tool that you can extract from and place into your Claude MD, your brain. So when, like, you know, at some point in the future, and it always happens, you're going to have a little bit of like capital that you don't need to spend somewhere else. You could actually use that to invest and buy one of these MD boxes, and then you have the brain ready. So it's just about preparation. If you don't have the capital, just prep. Just keep prepping, because at some point you're going to get the opportunity. And you know, God forbid, like, you know, you don't prep and you don't have a plan for when capital arrives. And then you have the opportunity, or like, God forbid you don't prepare, and then you have the capital and you're like, okay, what do I do with this? And then you just go buy some trainers or do something stupid with it. When in reality, what you could do is like, you know, you've got the brain there. It's like, oh my God, I can now just literally take this and just dump it there. So like, now is your proving ground. So like, you've got your local desktop or whatever, you just build it out there. And then eventually you'll get the house where you can put the brain, or the body where you can put the brain. And then that brain can go to work, you know, nice and clean. So yeah, it's just about prep now. Prep every day, iterating, improving it, making it better. So yeah, that's basically the plan. That's basically the plan for me anyway. Until, you know, I get the opportunity. I keep saying it, like, where is the opportunity? Cheap viewers. What's this? Someone's posted on my Twitch. Oh, so I'm getting the spam bots that I would get on PubFund. This is crazy. It's getting tighter as well, you know, like, the KYC element of like, you know, the UK is just saying like any site you have to be KYC verified to be online, which is insane. They're saying it's to protect children, but in reality it's just to control the narrative, isn't it? So it's quite scary. What does this say? Prime Games, nothing exciting there. Okay, yeah, that's the reality of it. It's just like, you know, it's control. It's like we're living in a place of control. The elites don't like you having freedom, people. All right, the freedom of thought. If you're gonna think freely, you better work for someone or start a business. Like, you know, I'm trying to think of like what I could call my business if I was to like actually take this super seriously. You know, I don't know. Like the problem with me as well is like the people that, it's no disrespect to the people that are around me, but like people don't like to think outside of what they know, you know. I think that's what my wife loves about me the most, is that I don't think like everybody else, but at the same time, as the person who's thinking outside of the box or trying to be, you know, different, it's scary because you're exposed, aren't you? I don't care what anyone thinks. If I fail, I fail, innit? You know, and I'll always be able to look in the mirror and be like, well, you know, at least I tried. At least I tried. I mean, I could still be the same person I was 10 years ago and just be like doing the same job, you know, stabbing people in the back for that promotion and just like, you know, making a mess all around me and just not caring. But like, you know, I'm just like taking myself away from that and I'm trying to do something different. I still haven't found my circle. I think that's the most depressing thing about the whole situation, is that I've had to do this all on my own. Even like friends I grew up with, you know, trying to have conversations with them. It seems like I'm thinking, I don't know what they're thinking of me. And quite frankly, I don't care. I don't think I should. I think if I cared, I wouldn't be where I am today. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that where I am today is any better than where I would have been if I just stayed in my lane. That's what it is. It's kind of like I'm thinking out of the box and it's taking me to a place of discomfort. I'm in a very uncomfortable situation right now in regards to my relationships with people, because I'm not doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, or that in their opinions, that I should be doing and focusing on, which is like, you know, a job and a career. Like, you know, it's kind of like all or nothing for me in regards to this stuff. And I feel like that's the right way to be, but at the same time, it is so fucking stressful. I can understand why people who make successes of themselves by coming out of their own comfort zone are the way they are, you know, because you've got people in the background saying he can't do it, you know, or like convinced that this guy's crazy. What's he thinking? Or like the fact that, you know, maybe if I make a short form cartoon with AI, it's like, oh, that's kind of immature. That's kind of like, you know, he's a grown man. What's he talking about? But like, just because I'm in touch with my inner child and that I can stimulate my own imagination doesn't mean that I'm a weirdo. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that I wanted to make and I did. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but maybe it is, you know? Maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't know how to put it. There's a lot of things that I don't care about, and people understanding me is definitely one of them. I think my wife understands me, definitely, because we talk and she's kind of like, oh my God. But at the same time, I worry that I'm going to go over the edge and go too far. Like, but maybe that's where you need to go to like sort of figure out what is the right thing to do for you. I don't know. It's like a psychology lesson, because I do listen back to it, but my head is like boom, 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 you know, kind of like, yeah. I guess it's just best to be honest. It's best to be honest. I mean, the money and everything, you know, it's nice to have money. It's nice to be able to take care of things and not worry. I mean, yeah, 100%. But at the same time, it's fleeting and it's not rewarding. And even then, like, you know, like the people who like really successful traders, like they make a load of money, they live a good life, but they're still sort of like this empty hole. And I think it's because you haven't created anything. Like, you've created wealth for yourself, yeah. I mean, maybe, and then that's why they buy, like, you know, the nice house and they build it the way they want, because that's what they've, you know, that's their form of creation. You create a child, you know, and then you can invest your time in that child. While if you're chasing money, you don't have time for that. It's so hard to find the good balance for life. Yeah, Yeah, my bro who divorced 2 weeks ago told me this. All of us are selective sinners. We choose the sin we are comfortable with and judge others that commit the ones we are not comfortable with. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty deep. 120k on a math degree to work at Starbucks. Then I found one equation. Let's say it's software function. GPC uses to predict words. Polymark uses to price beliefs. I use it to make 8k a week. Bookmark this student before student loans is due. Turns out differential equations were a scam. Okay, the math that prints money on Polymarket and why 93% of users. Okay, so like, you know, the thing is, it's like I see this and I'm like, does it really work? You know, because if everyone's using the same equation and the algorithm, then, you know, surely like the alpha of it is gone instead. So why would you like put it out there? Panic early or don't panic at all. The equity market is probably the most delusional it has been at pricing. In fact, the situation rushing on the ground. The wake up will be even more violent due to complacency there. What's he saying? This is actually the perfect time for Bitcoin and crypto to shine. That's right. I mean, my theory is that the crypto markets, before I read this, okay, because I haven't read it, I'm going to look at you before I read it. My theory is that the crypto markets have completely bottomed out. Like, anyone who's going to leave has left. The market's completely dead. There's no liquidity. And at some point, you know, the shit's going to hit the fan with traditional markets because they've been going up forever. Through all of last year, the year before. Gold has topped. Oil is spiking. The dollar is like still up, which is insane to me because they're not printing. Like, they need to print their way out of inflation. So if, for instance, oil spikes to 150, so oil goes to $150, and now we're talking macro, which I said I wouldn't do. But if oil spikes to 150k or $150, right, per barrel, the only way for it to go down in price is to devalue the dollar, surely, right? No, because that would increase the price. That would increase the price. So how would they do it? Like, how are they going to get the price down? I mean, if they've got all the oil, the US don't have oil. This is why this is all happening. I don't know, man. I don't know. No one knows what's going to happen in these fucking markets. It's actually insane. It's actually insane to think. But all I know is that, you know, where is it? SPX. Where is it? Oh my God, my mouse is all over the place. This is the final, you know, shakeout. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th, people. And I've got a feeling some fuckery is going to happen. But I'm not sure. There's no guarantees in this one. I'm pretty certain that the crypto markets are going to like outperform everything because of what's been happening over the past year. You know, it's going to be one of those moments. I mean, I'm hoping and praying. It's going to be one of those moments where it's going to be that market again where you can buy anything and make money. But yeah, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? If you've got capital, then like, you know, you should be deploying it now is what I'm saying. In a sense. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'll just clarify that. I'm just a guy sitting in the corner of his tiny apartment, speculating on the markets. Okay. So yeah, take everything I say as like this guy does not know what he's talking about. He's full of shit. Okay. Let's see what my whale scope is saying. So yeah, in the past 15 minutes, 1.1 million shorts to 446 longs. Longs are increasing. Yeah, I think someone just opened a long. So like, yeah, I'm getting up to the minute trades on the top 10 best traders on Hyperliquid, you know, every second. So I get to see what they're doing. And it's interesting to see like how these guys actually trade as well. Because they don't trade like how potentially I would trade. I would trade being like, right, I'm going long on this and I'm going to hold it until it reaches this price or until I'm going to hold it and it's going to be the one, you know, like you go long on leverage. If you're allowed to use leverage, you know, I'm just saying you go long and the price goes up. You make, like this guy made $256 off of that long, right? I would be like, that's not enough. I need to make $2,000. You know what I mean? Or this is it's just going to keep on going. And then I get stopped out. But these people, they close and they open, they take the profits and they open, they just keep building their accounts. $40 here, $20 there. And I was speaking to my missus about it yesterday. I went and met her and we were walking down the road. We were talking and she was just like, yeah. She's like, what do you think they do? You think they take long positions and then sit on them for like weeks on end and just like keep on, you know, adding to them. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, from what my impressions of like the timeline, it's like people were like, oh yeah, I went long 3 weeks ago, and you know now it's worth this much, and it's kind of like, you know, they're making six figures on long form trades. But in reality, that's not how it works. It turns out, like, you know, you got to be in and out every 15 minutes, every 5 minutes, it looks like. You know, the fees are relatively cheap. You know, you pay 79 cents fees, 84 cents fees, depending on size. Yeah. Everyone's closing out their shorts. That's interesting. Is the market turning around? It looks like it. But it's just going to be fuckery until the liquidity comes. I'm just hoping, like, yeah, there's going to be some sort of announcement from the Fed where they're just like, listen, guys, we're going to have to lower rates because, I mean, yeah, that could be the catalyst. It's like, you know, they have to lower rates so they can buy oil. But then the whole Venezuela thing happened where they said they had like 200,000 barrels of oil, 200 million barrels of oil, like some crazy amount of oil. They said that was going to be imported. But then, you know, it's all gone silent on that. It said it's going to take a year, but then they have to refine that oil because apparently the oil is shit. They have to build the infrastructure to actually drill the oil as well. It's going to be a rough couple years, man. But in the meantime, what the market's doing, they're going up. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, the equity market is probably the most illusional, blah, blah, blah. Wake up people violent. This is actually the perfect time for Bitcoin and crypto to shine. Serve as a true geopolitical and sovereign hedge in time of distress. Long crypto, short equities, high yield credit, probably the best long short trade on the market now. Agreed, it's not pricing in the coming liquidity tsunami yet. We are going so much higher. That's what I'm saying. It's like, is it going to pump the markets? You do know that equities have a perpetual constant TWAP by the American workforce, right? A percentage of bi-weekly checks are thrown into 401k or blah, yeah. I'm not wrong, the market is wrong. Yeah. Insane disruption right now. Market is betting on short duration of it. It would be shame if wrong and have a reprice. Jeez, man, the bear porn is getting a bit heavy now. Have you ever thought about maybe you're just wrong? Wow, yeah. Some people, you know, like I said, like no one cares about crypto right now. The only people that care about crypto are the ones who are invested in it or have been invested in it. The tourists have gone. The people with money, the VC hedge funds, they're trying to figure out a way to extract as much as possible, or they did figure out a way to extract as much as possible via their, you know, janky tokenomics. And yeah, it is what it is. It's just sort of like floating in midair right now. Speculate all you want, innit? But there needs to be some sort of catalyst that's going to push the market forward. And I don't know what that is. It's not going to be like an airdrop to retail. It's probably not going to be, you know, the Fed, who potentially could cut rates. And it's not going to be like, you know, the Fed either like injecting, you know, liquidity or like printing more money. So I don't know what is going to push this market up. Honestly. Seriously. It's kind of like, I've come to the point where like, yeah, I feel it, innit? I feel that this is going to be like another long year. Last year was long. This year's even longer. It's just like, come on, man. Seriously. I don't know. But in the meantime, we stay positive, right? And we continue to build. This is it. We got to remain focused. We got to continue to build, and we got to stay positive. So I will continue to build out my whale scope in anticipation of like some sort of, yeah, capital gain or like money, and then we'll move from there. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, anyone who's like, I've said it before, anyone who wants to be successful has to go through this period. Has to go through this period of just like serious self-doubt, but perseverance, and, you know, just keep pushing through. Just keep pushing through, man. Okay, I think I'm done. I've got some, I call it faux soup, but you probably call it fast soup. So I'm going to eat some soup, have some noodles. Each stream gets shorter and shorter. But it is what it is, isn't it? Like, you know, I'm talking myself into getting, well, I've got another, how long have I got before my Claude resets? I think I've got another hour. Let me see. Yeah, I've got another hour. Another hour before my Claude resets. And then I'm going to, like, you know, rinse that out. And then I'm probably going to be able to get like 3 or 4 sessions in. And that's not going to fix all the code that needs to be fixed. But in the meantime, I'll just like continue to watch markets and just see what happens. In the long term. In the near term. Like, even 15-minute candles and that stuff. It's just like, how low can it go, bro? You know? I don't see an opportunity to, I mean, that dip is crazy. The dip is crazy. But I don't ever see it get down to 40 cents again. Even 68 cents. God, I hope not. Yeah. This is making me very nervous, this. I do not like that at all. Let's scroll the timeline a bit more. Let's see, because I've got nothing else. Well, not that I've got nothing else to do, but like, you know, until it resets, like, what can I do? I could go on Grok and like build some more like AI slop sort of a AI slop sort of you know, meme, or not meme, like short form video, or do something like that. I'm just like, this is why RAM costs $900K. Really. How does Pump make 1.3 million in revenue per day? Who's still using it? I mean, it's a joke, isn't it? I'm still of the belief that Pump Fund's going to come out with its own chain, and they're just not going to be reliant on Solana at all. And that's when they'll do an airdrop, and it'll be so diluted after that. They'll do a campaign and they'll do all the bullshit. They'll drag it out for 2 years and no one will care, because the money's been made. First class, pressing the button seems like a great opportunity. Each press has 50% chance to double your wealth and 50% chance to half. Okay. Only 50k wallets currently hold 10 hype. Compare that to 4 million holding 400 plus E. What? Only 50k wallets currently hold 10 hype? Yeah, because they're all staking it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. You see something like that, you got to be like very you got to like, you know, I don't want to say speculative, but you got to think. You got to be a third level thinker. You know, like you saw something like that. Only 10 people hold out. Oh my god! It's like, that's so. There must be loads of people that want to buy it, so you buy it. Second level thinker thinks, yeah, because, and they'll give reasons, because the token's down only. And the third level thinker would be like, yeah, because all the big holders are actually staking it, and it's not in their wallets. It's on the staking platform. It's common sense. I wonder what the comments say. Someone's probably said that, right? You never know. Hype gets a new compare and it goes down. Kevin, the next airdrop will support this little people for me. Big question is there will, yeah, I mean, like a lot of people I guess are expecting an airdrop from them, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. How many over than 125k? So should I say it? Should I be like, is that because they're all staking? Is that because every holder is because every holder? So isn't that, I'm going to try and sound like a smart ass and be like, no, that's not the case. Isn't that because everyone is staking it? I'm always late to the party. I wonder when he posted this. I probably won't get a reply. 4 hours ago. Okay, not bad. Do you like that, DMT? The elites know the system is collapsing. Brent Weinstein explains the endgame dynamic where the people in charge are simply looting the country and burning it down because they know they won't have to face the consequences. Yeah. How many chain steps were people mega bullish on last year that aren't here today? Why has every engagement bait CT account flipped to posting random, literally me high saturation videos with Leo Gosling, that dude from Breaking Bad, alongside some random depression slot text? Yeah, I mean, like, just stream, bro. You know what I mean? Just put yourself out there. OpenClaw update. We've added a new sniper text on Zora, now live on all new coins. Details below. Yeah, someone buy my fucking Zora coin, man. Where's the love? Honestly. No love on Zora. Zora's a great platform. I don't care what anyone says, alright? I'm not having it. It's where you go, like, it's the test bed. So every time before I start a stream, I go on Zora and I start the stream. And then I like check the mic, I check the audio and make sure everything's all good, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Zora, like, you know, it's free. Just fucking jump on there. Like, you know, obviously there's the more legit projects, like, or programs, you know, like, I would just say Twitch or YouTube. I don't even look at the YouTube because I know no one's watching that. But yeah, Zora potentially, you know, it could be the place to be. It's just, yeah, you got to do streams like this, actually live streams where you could talk shit. Someone built a plugin that psychologically pressures your AI coding agent into never giving up on a bug. Okay, it's called, yeah, I probably need that. Pump Farm capitulating by moving to Ethereum is like raid on your wedding day, a free ride when you're already there. It's the good advice that you just won't take. And who would have thought it figures? Okay. She fucking hates Pump Fun if it is her, yeah. We've raised 6.5 million to kill vector databases. Come on, there's got to be some cool news that just like, you know, oh no, Tom Lee's talking. Tom Lee just said live on CNBC, markets are going to pump in March and later in the year we will have a bear market. Keep that in mind. He hasn't been right once in the past 5 years. He's completely, I just don't know. I've met him once actually, you know. It's so interesting I met him. And I remember meeting him. And I was like, oh, you're Tom Lee. And I was like, oh, I went to shake his hand. He shook my hand. And I was like, oh, yeah, so like Ethereum, what do you think? And he sort of like stumbled and bumbled through it. This was years ago. With Ethereum, this is like 2019. He sort of stumbled and bumbled. Yeah, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. And now he's always wrong. Oh, God. It's terrible. UPAP desk. So now I'm getting the ASTA updates. Before, I was not getting any ASTA updates. New PEP listings, XPlay, made up tokens. Perplexity CEO just drew a clear line between the new personal computer and OpenClaw. You need to read this. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually really curious about Perplexity, to be honest. It might be something that I want to check out. I think it's sort of like a... Yeah, I just need to read about it. Probably tomorrow we could go into a deep dive on that. Yeah, at some point. A public note on propaganda holders. We've turned auto buybacks on. They will remain on as long as our market cap is below our treasury balance. Ooh. They will... What? 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 We've turned on auto buyback. We turned auto buybacks on. They will remain on as long as our market cap is below our treasury balance. So the market cap is below how much they actually hold in the treasury. Make that make sense. What? Okay. This is the current state of the meme coin trenches. People love shitcoins, altcoins, and the rush of hitting quick, fast gains. But the PvP advance of basically every coin has pushed some people away. Some people, all people, mate. I can't believe there's still people out there trying to shill fucking, like pump fund and like, you know, meme coins. It's like it's done, guy. Like, you know, you had your moment. It's like a PTSD, isn't it? Like, you know, or like a Stockholm syndrome. You're just stuck there with your abuser. Yeah. If you want to heal the trenches, we can start by putting a badge of honor on TikTok teenagers who screen record themselves extracting 20k from a 40k topper with some cringe remix in the BG. It's really crazy. I find it funny that Fortnite TikTok holes are the ones that call everyone else a scammer. Like what? What's that? Crypto investing correlated with risk? Could it be? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it could be. It could be. Oh, it's just like who's dumping that? Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. You know the meme. XPL's got some potential. They were saying trillion sooner than you think, innit? I wonder what that means. It's because they've got their own stablecoin and USDC's running out of money, innit? This is like one of the ones where it goes boop, 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 and then just stops down. It's just like, no, we were just joking. Yeah, mouse, follow me after the fact. Fuck's sake. Oh my god. It's funny. It's funny. Right. Back to the timeline. Timeline's funny today. Bottom this summer. One more cycle with asymmetric upside on the table. Get this right and you'll buy your freedom forever. Why I think low for Bitcoin. Sailor buying isn't pushing the price. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, I don't know what that means. Yeah, this new age streamers are just not the ones, man. They really aren't. I had to block that Ray Kai. You know, like, I'm on my timeline and I'm seeing these little shits like running around like, oh, he smashed up his streamer set and blah blah blah. It's like it's so forced now. Like, I didn't even watch Kai Cenat or whatever. I never watched any of them, you know. But then it's sort of like you see that he's retired, and then there's this new young black kid, or it doesn't matter what color he's, new kid, and like, you know, he's doing the same things, and like, they're just, it's blatantly forced. It's none of it is natural, you know. Jester maxing and all this other shit. It's just like, oh, just fuck off. I don't want to hear about it, you know. You're up 470 chasing an extra fate, and now you're down 800. Yeah. It's the way it goes, bro. 120k on a math degree. Yeah, so the timeline's repeating now. Quite a licky arsenic skill set you simply were not born with. Yeah, it's true. It's just I can't. Yeah. Oh, he's about to dump his bag very soon. So yeah, Arthur Hayes is notorious for this. You know, he fucking calls like massive moves, and then he's like dumping on your head. He's like, I need exit liquidity, guys. Hype his father Ava. Yeah, he's the worst. And then he goes skiing. Or he disappears into a jungle. I don't know if anyone's been alive long enough for that, where he just disappeared into some fucking jungle somewhere and he comes out and films himself. It's mad. If you want to heal the trenches, there, yeah, please have some Hyperliquid's back 90% my share of sexes. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Hyperliquid's the play. It is the play, but you know. Sorry, my nose is running. Where is it? 37. It is the play. It is. I mean, you could trade fucking oil on there on the weekends. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it is the play. You can front run TradFi. And it's hit the wick. That was one of my rules. It was kind of like every asset needs to go to that wick. You know? The 1010, world famous 1010 wick. Some coins ain't made it there. You know? But they will. At some point they'll fill. And you can see, like, that was the bottom. That proves my point. Like, any token that hasn't hit 1010 wicks hasn't got a chance. Hasn't got a chance. Stark there. Stark there here. Yeah, Stark there here. Look, it's reversing. All these 1010 wicks. The low was, yeah, it's at the low, the 1010 wick. That's when all the whales who had positions, that's when Wintermute capitulated. You know, or Binance or whoever it was, they capitulated. Any token that's hit that is bottomed. Yeah? Pump Fund, has it hit that? No, Pump Fund hasn't hit it. So Pump Fund needs to go to what? 14. It's still got a way to go. You know? That's the hit. Where's the 1010 wick on Asta? I don't even think it went there. Did it go there? 10. Oh yeah, it's well below it. It's well below it. Yeah, it's well below it. Like, you know, anyone that's selling here, like, you know, insider trading or whatever. But yeah, definitely, like, you know, massive potential. Like ENA's well below. This is the prices where you should be accumulating anyway. Trading up, whatever. You know, max leverage long, not financial advice, but yeah, definitely. There's no one left to sell, and you can tell from the timeline. All the faces I'm seeing, like Michael said, you know, there's a delay between the time we buy the Bitcoin and the time Bitcoin goes to the moon. Oh god. Asta 1010 wipe out a large portion of CT. Either that or everyone is in hibernation. I'm accumulating long term. Is my computer listening to me? Am I being tracked? Obviously it's listening to me, but like, yeah. Buying Asta, buying Hype, and adding more CC. Yeah, I just feel like there might be a sooner generation opportunity to buy real estate. It's finished. Yeah. Realizing corporate life. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's just repeating that. So now I'm just gonna get like a load of Asta shit in it. One coin, one altcoin to buy in 2026. I'm choosing Asta, and this is why. See, so then the algo sees that you searched Asta, you've asked a few questions, and now it's like, yeah, you should buy Asta, yeah, you should hold Asta. Like, blah, blah, blah. So the algo is not your friend, man. The algo is not your friend, and you've witnessed it live. So if you think you're in a box, yeah, just go and stream and, like, you know, see what happens. See what happens, man. Honestly, right? That's it. I'm done. That's it. I'm just looking at price action. There's literally nothing going on. How's my DX? How's my poop coin doing? Oh, it's down. Okay. Fair. Fair. You know, there's like an army of agents that own this. They're probably plotting the downfall of poop coin right now. I've said it. It will happen. It's been foretold. But this just looks like consolidation. I feel like it could run like massively towards the end. If it continues to hold up. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take a break. I hope everyone's doing well. I've done my hour and a half. Is what it is. I'll be back tomorrow with an update on my whale scope. More than likely, not much would have changed. I'm still going to get the price feed through, which is cool. You know, I'm still gonna build it out, but like for me to fix all the files, it's gonna be a fucking nightmare. I'm gonna have to keep running them and running out of credit, so it's gonna take me at least a week before it's ready for like showtime, which is like, you know, being able to use it in conjunction with Hyperliquid. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely something that I want to happen because then I can automate it, which will be the next step. But I have to. It's got to have proving ground. It's got to work. It's got to be able to, you know, actually connect and do everything that I want it to do before you know, I start building out the trading bot associated with it. And this is all my personal build, so that means that it's not available to anyone. It's not on the GitHub. It's not anything that I'm gonna share. It's just for me. And I'm sure there are many a trader out there, many a person, many a participant in these markets that has something like this set up, and has had it set up for a while. And it just so happens that now I have the ability to do it too, which means that it's probably defunct and it's not going to work, and it's probably going to lose me a lot of capital if I was trading real funds. Okay, all right, okay, cool. So I'm going to play you out with the outro, and I hope everyone has a fantastic Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, the 13th. So it's going to be a big day for markets. It's going to be a big day for me, for you. You know, don't step on any sharp objects. Don't cross roads that you don't normally cross. You know what I mean? Just stick to your regular routine and you'll be safe. All right. All right. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope I haven't been. Oh yeah, the mic is on. Thank God. And yeah, I guess I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for listening to my rambles. Like and subscribe, for fuck's sake. Check me out Zora as well. And shout out LiveSuite, my sponsors. I know you're not sponsoring me anymore, LiveSuite, but I still got love for you. And where is the number dude? Honestly, number dude. It's okay, man. You know? Come out hide. You don't owe anyone anything. You've done great work. And yeah, you were a very inspirational and motivational dude to see the way you worked, bro. I'm sure you're not watching, but yeah, you know, come out of retirement, man. It's all good. Or maybe you're just grafting and LiveSuite's going to explode. I'm still talking. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. Peace out.
if you want me.